Ted Bundy was described as a handsome and charming man, but underneath it all, he was a horrible man responsible for heinous crimes. He beat, raped, and brutally murdered over 30 women and left some with permanent and horrific injuries. Over 7 states across America in the 1970s, Ted Bundy changed many people's lives, from escaping jail on many occasions to marrying and fathering a kid while in jail and representing himself in court to prove his innocence. Ted is remembered as one of the most notorious serial killers. In the 1970s, mass murders weren't common. That is until a clean-cut and charming man tricked those around him. Theodore Bundy preyed on young women, sexually assaulted them, kidnapped them, and killed them. He disposed of their bodies in deserted place where animals could permanently get rid of his victims for him. Ted kept a body part from every victim as a souvenir. This shows how insane Bundy really was. These killings were so cruel and uncommon, it sparked paranoia in women and families all over the world. To understand Ted, people wanted to know him before his attacks. Before the killings, Ted was just a young boy who had a rough upbringing. He was raised thinking his mother was his sister and not knowing who his real father was. His grandfather beat him and his mother often. After Ted found out the truth, his mother took him and finally escaped. Ted's life returned fairly normal. He then attended Washington University, dated a woman, Liz, who also had a daughter. He began law school but soon dropped out. That's when the disappearances began. In 1974, Ted began his killing spree. He would act injured and lure women into his vehicle. He would then kidnap, rape, and kill them. His vehicle was a Volkswagen Beetle and would eventually be the reason he got caught. When Ted relocated to Utah, his girlfriend Liz became suspicious. She noticed a weird behavior in him and matched his vehicle description. That's when police kept an eye on Ted. He was soon pulled over due to suspicious driving. This is when police found masks, blunt objects, and handcuffs in his vehicle. He was then taken into custody and then identified by 3 of his victims that had managed to escape. Ted wanted to represent himself because he thought he was too smart for an actual lawyer. Due to him representing himself, he was allowed to be in the library. This is when he decided to escape from Aspen Courthouse, but was eventually caught 6 days later. About 6 months later, he escaped from his jail cell and headed to Florida, where he continued his killing spree, but yet again got caught due to reckless driving. Unable to prove his innocence, he was found guilty and executed on January 24, 1989. He only confessed to his killings the day before his eviction. Execution.